Here comes Ted Worthington to the cage, and you would never guess it, but his nickname is Red. Ted Red Worthington with the red hair and all, and I got to tell you, you don't see too many fighters that made their debut back in '04. He has been at it for 15 years as a professional fighter and has compiled quite the record. 35 up, 56 down. You heard that right. Ted Worthington has fought nearly 100 professional bouts. Absolutely amazing. 91 pro fights under his belt. This is number 92. One of my favorite guys to interview, and also one of my favorite guys to call a fight of his as well. Patrick Delgado heading up to the cage. Now, the last time we saw him, it was a round one guillotine win over Brandon Suber. And again, Suber, a tough customer with a winning record, but Delgado was able to take care of him in one of the best fights we ever saw here. Chosen few number 12. He lost a split decision to Mark Lemminger. By the way, Lemminger in the house here tonight. He has been inactive for a while, but Lemminger looking to get back into the cage. Maybe not here, maybe somewhere else. It'll be interesting to find out where Lemminger does pop up next, but Delgado had one heck of a fight against Lemminger here a couple of years ago that ended up in a split decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout features 3 rounds in our 165-pound division. Introducing first, this man fighting in the Rock Performance Sports red corner. He weighed in at 159.8 pounds. He hails from Salt Lake, Utah, and represents UTCT, Utah. Ladies and gentlemen, 35 professional victories, Ted Red Worthington. His opponent is this man, fighting out of the corner's blue corner. He weighed in 164.8 pounds. He represents Fearless Mixed Martial Arts. He hails from Janesville, Wisconsin, and has a professional record, 6 victories, 3 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Ghost, Patrick Delgado.
Crowd loves Delgado, and why not? A really good warrior here in Chosen Few history, making his 4th appearance in a Chosen Few Fighting Championship. And here we go, Delgado and Worthington, along with Chris Garrity and Gerald Mearshart. I'm Rich Reynolds, cage side, as we are now into our 3rd pro fight of the evening and taking a look at Ted Worthington, who again is into the cage for the 92nd time as a professional. You just don't get to say that too often.
So we saw Worthington start out there as a southpaw. Delgado landed a mostly block high kick, got the attention of Worthington. He went back to what I'm assuming is his normal orthodox stance. Worthington caught that teep kick, maybe a little poke there or something. Show respect by the fighters, but then Delgado with a nice little backflip type escape there from his caught leg kick and back in. Pressuring is looking for a takedown. Worthington's looking for the neck. And a big slam for Delgado, who lands in side control.
And this is where Patrick Delgado lives for his fights. We talked about Eckelberg in the last fight. Delgado does the same thing. He's a jiu-jitsu specialist as opposed to Eckelberg, who's a wrestler. But Delgado is very dangerous from any position on the ground.
Oh, we might have a Von Flue choke. Worthington's still holding on to that guillotine. I think Delgado's looking for that Von Flue choke. Trying to pressure down with that shoulder. Worthington bridging, trying to get some space, but that's a lot of pressure right there. You can tap someone out, putting shoulder pressure down on the neck. Worthington's arm is stuck right now. This could be a finish right here if he can get enough pressure.
I can't see it, Gerald, from our angle.
Yeah, our angle is kind of hard to see.
So Worthington's got his arm stuck around Delgado's neck, and what Delgado did is he locked his hands around Worthington, and you can actually pressure in hard enough and kind of use your shoulder to choke them out. It lands you in such a position. It's called the Von Flue choke. This is why you don't hold on to a guillotine when someone passes the side control. Oh, he's waiting. His hand's up.
Yeah, his hand was up. I'm not sure if the ref saw it. or what was going on with that. I thought he might be tapping out, but
Yeah,
I think it was a plea for inactivity, which is not going to happen in a dominant position like
No.
this.
no, especially when there's a threat of a submission. And Worthington was doing a good job bridging just to make enough space so he's not getting choked. So now, now the shoulder's not enough pressure. Now Delgado sees that the choke's not there, and he's going to work to get a more dominant position and probably land some strikes.
And what you saw he almost tried there was to crucifix the arm. He's going to try and trap that right arm. It looks like he, now the fact that they're pressed up against the cage might have changed the strategy a bit, but he was trying to trap the right arm a second ago.
All right, Worthington's looking, he was looking to cage walk a little bit. Delgado's just putting a lot of pressure down in side control, really keeping him pinned. See Worthington looking for the cage. Now, he's looking for a head and an arm, maybe trying to get an arm bar or something. Delgado just raining down punches and right back on top.
Delgado finally got into a striking position, able to land a couple of shots to Worthington and soften him up a little bit as Worthington on his back, but still game here against Delgado.
Yeah, really good pressure from Delgado. He had his head in there. Now you got to watch. Worthington just got a good angle. Looked like he was looking for an arm bar. If he can walk his guard a little bit higher, he can isolate one of the arms of Delgado and possibly even finish an arm bar from here or work to get a triangle. This is not a good spot for Delgado. As we see him putting the knee behind the butt, and he's got to look to square up. And yeah, square back up, and there we see him right there. Worthington is moving for that arm bar. He's isolating that wrist. He's trying to get an angle, and Delgado already moving to the side to prepare for that arm bar defense and try to square up with Worthington to stifle his submission attempt.
And that would be quite a feather in your cap if you're going to submit a guy like Patrick Delgado, too. And he's pretty relentless hanging onto that arm, but he's taking some huge knees to the midsection while doing it.
Smart move there by Delgado, landing those knees into Worthington. Worthington, though, still doing a good job of holding on against Delgado, as Delgado, inside of a minute now for this first round, has been or was in control for most of the round, but right now in a bit of a situation here, if you will, against Worthington.
Hasn't been any too serious danger yet at the moment. He's staying heavy enough to where nothing too bad is going to happen. You just have to be careful.
Right, he's not quite standing on the edge of a cliff, but he's making his way there. As Worthington still got this angle. It's hard to get your guard tight against a cage like this, but Delgado knows if he pops up at the wrong time, Worthington might be able to snake those legs around his head and either go for an arm bar or possibly lock up a half triangle arm bar combination. So he's really being cautious by keeping pressure down and trying to square up with Worthington and not just pop his head straight up and give up an arm.
You got to imagine in his 92nd professional fight, there isn't too much that Worthington hasn't encountered inside of a cage. Final 10 seconds here, and there is the horn for round number one. So interesting stuff happening there. We will see who will come out on top, Delgado or Worthington, as we head to round number two here on TVW. Taking a look at action from round number one right there. Big body slam by Patrick Delgado. Had him in early control, but it was Worthington towards the end of the round at least that was able to put some pressure on Delgado with a possible armbar.
Yeah, Delgado was on top the whole time, kept a lot of pressure. But Worthington, for what it's worth, he was really climbing those legs, looking for submissions, threatening Delgado enough to second guess, really exploding up because he didn't want to give up a submission. So props to both guys, but for sure a 10-9 round for Delgado.
Delgado pops up off the stool, ready to go here for round number two, trying to excite his hometown fans that have made the trip up here, the short trip from Janesville, as he has developed quite a following here in the Chosen Few Arena. Again, his fourth time in the cage at a Chosen Few event. Again, it's always the even ones, 10, 12, 14, and now 16 for Delgado.
Always a fun fighter to watch, always a great guy to get behind because he's such a good guy behind the scenes. Fearless MMA has been in Wisconsin a long time, and I'm always happy to see someone like Delgado fight.
Good right
Big
hand,
knee.
yeah. As a couple of good strikes by
Going for a
Delgado, now
guillotine.
looking to finish it off.
Guillotine.
That looks pretty deep. That's
And
it.
that's it. Patrick Delgado softened up Worthington with some good strikes and then finishes it off with the guillotine. And wow, what an impressive job by Patrick Delgado, who made an adjustment there during the break, during the round break, came out with a different strategy against Worthington, and it worked to perfection to finish off Ted Red here in the second round. We'll be back with the official decision right after this on TVW. That couple of good strikes did it. Bam.
I know he really came out on fire in that second round, let the hands go, landed that good knee, and then Worthington went in for that desperation shot. He snatched that neck up quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end of this bout comes in 29 seconds. Round number 2 for a winner by guillotine choke, Patrick
Delgado
Delgado.
victorious, improves on his professional record to 7-3, and let's hear from him now.
Fantastic job as always. You're one of my favorite fighters to see here in the cage. Great guy outside and a great guy inside the cage. Congratulations. Completely dominant in that first round, and you softened him up enough to finish him in the second. Tell us a little bit about how you set that guillotine in.
I know I hit him with a few shots. He didn't like a really fast shotgun jab, I call it. And then I hit him with a nice overhand. And I knew that he would squabble from that, and I hit him with an uppercut. And then that's where the working. I pride myself in taking what they give you. I don't really try to force anything, and he was giving me a good team. I'm going to still give it a head.
Your 4th time here with us. We hope to see you again in the cage. Congratulations, Patrick.
One thing, guys. I just want to say thank you to all my fans that came out here tonight from Janesville and also my people from Madison. I started training less than a quarter of a mile away from here at the Mountain Varsity Days. I used to run up these middle terrace steps. So I feel like Madison's been part of my home as well, guys. And then I was hoping maybe Josh Sherry can hear this. I'd like to get a 165-pound title shot coming up soon. I think that would be great.
I think Josh Sherry can get a belt warmed up for you. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Patrick Delgado.
Patrick Delgado, they call him the Ghost. He showed some spirit here tonight, and also asking Josh Sterry for a shot at a title here in Chosen Few. I think the fans would love to see it. Delgado victorious over Worthington. We're back after this with our co-main event. Dante Skiro is up next on TVW.